Depression. It's a mental illness that gets talked about, depicted in popular culture, and scrutinized in countless ways. It's also incredibly misunderstood. And I'd like to change some of that. And yeah, we're going to need a content warning on this one. I'll be talking about mental illness and specifically depression, including suicidal ideation. Drex here from Drex Factor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And today, we're going to be talking a whole lot about brains. But first, I just want to throw out a huge thank you to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flow DNA, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterra Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links that I've got down in the description of this video. And a special thanks to the first non-business friend of the channel, Johnny Howard. Thanks so much for your support, Johnny. Yesterday was World Mental Health Day, and in honor of the occasion, I thought I would talk to you all a little bit about the mental illness that I suffer from, depression, and talk specifically about some of the misconceptions that I see people out there having about it. A lot of these misconceptions are general things that people get wrong about depression, and some of them are things I've seen pop up a lot in the flow arts community. But I wanted to come forward as somebody who's been living with this condition for my entire life to set the record straight and hopefully educate a few of you out there. So, let's take a look. Misconception number 1. Depression is just sadness. Depression can manifest in a lot of different forms, and it can change as a person ages or depending upon the situation. It can appear as sadness, irritability, anger, or, as is frequently the case with me, just numbness. When I'm feeling depressed, I frequently can't access any feelings at all. And I know that sounds like it might be a good thing, right? Well, but here's the problem with that. I cannot get the dopamine hit from completing a task when I'm experiencing depression. I do things because I know that I should, but I feel absolutely no satisfaction in doing so. For a lot of people, if they feel exactly the same way, whether they shower or not, whether they eat or not, whether they get up out of bed or not, it's really hard to motivate to do even the most basic of tasks. This also becomes a problem in social situations because without access to normal emotional responses to what people around me are talking about, I kind of have to guess at what a normal response would be, and sometimes I get it wrong. This leads to a lot of shame or social anxiety, and as a result, I tend to isolate myself from others when I'm feeling depressed. Which, let me tell you, does not help. It also becomes a problem in supporting people with depression because you're almost always looking for the wrong thing. Rather than looking for somebody writing sad poetry as they gaze out a rainy window, pay attention to how your friends behave and react to different stimulus. Have you noticed a shift over the course of hours or even weeks? Might not be a bad idea to check in. In fact, the day I'm recording this, I'm experiencing depression. Doesn't look like what you thought it did now, does it? Misconception number 2. All depressed people are suicidal or only need help when they are. Most of the times in my life when I've experienced depression, I have not been suicidal as a result. That said, I have experienced periods of suicidal ideation several times in my life. And here's the thing. Rather than seeking treatment during those states, it almost always would have been helpful to receive support before I got there. This is something that in general we kind of get wrong with healthcare as a whole, in that we tend to focus on interventions at critical points rather than preventative care. Just because somebody isn't suicidal doesn't mean they don't need support. Receiving that support can make a critical difference in whether a depressive episode results in suicidal ideation or not. And for love of Pete, if your friend comes to you and says they're feeling depressed, do not respond to that with, "So are you going to kill yourself?" Not only is it triggering and insensitive, but it also sends the signal that you only care about their depression if they are suicidal. Better option. How can I support you? What do you need from me right now? Do you want to talk about what you're experiencing or thinking or feeling? Let them lead the way. Misconception number 3. Depression and other mental illnesses aren't real. This one is frustratingly common in the flow arts world. There's no shortage of free thinkers who believe that mental illnesses are a scam cooked up by big pharma, a failure to think positively, or purely a reaction to the pressures of the modern world. This is also that tell me you've never studied the history of mental health without telling me you've never studied the history of mental health moment. First up, there are records of people experiencing depression for as long as people have been creating records. There's no shortage of people throughout history who've been treated for melancholia, possession, or a variety of other euphemisms that people who lack the tools to really understand the brain came up with for describing these conditions. Second, framing mental illnesses as a result of purely environmental variables or a conspiracy also contributes to the stigma against mental illnesses. Not only does it cut off treatment options for people who are suffering, it also creates an expectation for them that their illness can be cured by whatever they're being sold, whether it's ayahuasca ceremonies, spiritual retreats, or a fad diet. This makes people who experience mental illness both feel shame when their illness isn't cured, and it makes them jump from fad to fad searching for a cure, rather than accepting this as a facet of who they are. It becomes a never-ending cycle of shame and exploitation. Are there people who can improve their depression by changing their lifestyle? Yes, absolutely. Are there still people that suffer from a chronic condition that can require medical attention? Yes, 100%. And we have to support both. I quit my traditional job to do flow arts full-time, and it did not cure my depression. But over the years, I have learned to manage my depression. I've learned the skills to have a fulfilling life as a person with depression. That's the real goal. Misconception number 4, depression and other mental illnesses are really all about seeking attention. Friend, the last thing in the world you want when you're suffering from depression is to be the center of attention. You are self-conscious, anxious, and afraid. People do not talk about experiencing depression specifically for this reason. Many people who experience depression, myself included, avoid talking about it with other people because we don't want to be a burden on others. I don't want to be dealing with this disease. Why would I want my friends to have to deal with it too? If someone comes to you saying that they're experiencing depression, and especially if they're experiencing a period of suicidal ideation, that means they're asking for help. That means that they're struggling. That means that they're suffering. If your response to that is to accuse them of seeking attention, then I think that says a lot more about your capacity for empathy than it does them. They came to you because they're on the ropes. They came to you because they trust you. Be a person who is worthy of that trust. And misconception number 5, there is a cure for depression. So I need to couch this one because I know a lot of commenters are going to position this one as an absolute, and it's way more nuanced than that. Now, people who experience depression and other mental illnesses can improve or stabilize their conditions. Things that are known to help include regular exercise, a healthy diet, abstaining from drugs and alcohol, medication, and various forms of therapy. But we should not be framing any of these things as a cure. They're tools that help a person manage their condition. They are not the eradication of said condition. Some people do experience depression temporarily as a result of conditions in their lives. For them, there is more or less a permanent way out. For many of us, though, there's not. And more to the point, I think we need to learn how to accept that depression and other mental illnesses are part of what makes humanity diverse and unique. They are a part of the spectrum of the human condition and a natural part of our biology. When we frame mental illnesses as a thing to be cured, we also frame them as a thing to be ashamed of. And you know what I'd really like to see? People with mental illnesses accepting this as a part of themselves and being able to talk openly about it and their experiences with it. Do you suffer from depression or any other mental illness? Let's talk about it. Let me know about it in the comments and make a post about it to social media with the hashtag #DestigmatizeMentalHealth. There are more of us out there than you could possibly imagine. And in the meantime, I hope this helped to clear up some misconceptions. Did you get anything out of this video? Please keep the conversation going by giving it a like, adding a comment, sharing this video, and subscribing to the channel. This helps people find my content, and it helps the channel grow. Real quick, I just wanted to throw out a huge thank you because this video would not be possible without the kind support of these wonderful people right here. These are my Flow patrons over on Patreon, and they, along with the people listed down in the description, help to make this video and all the videos on my channel possible. Do you like Poi content? Do you like tutorials, flow sessions, and vlogs and flow arts culture? Consider signing up to support my work. I want to bring flow arts to the wider world and help people connect with their brains and their bodies through prop spinning. So help me do it. Head on over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi and sign up. You can do that either by clicking on the card that just popped up on YouTube or by using the link down in the description. Not only will you be supporting this mission, but you'll also be able to get early access to all of my content, a vote in what content I produce in the future, and a host of other awesome rewards, such as getting a special weekly Poi lesson delivered straight to your inbox that is available only to my supporters. Go give that a look, and please consider supporting this channel. Thank you in advance. What have been your experiences with mental health and illness? Have you experienced stigma in talking about them? Found treatments that really made a difference for you? Leave me a comment and let me know. I've included a link to a playlist on other videos I've made about mental health down in the description, as well as up on screen if you're watching this video on YouTube. Be kind to your friends, get outside and flow today, and I'll see you with a new video on Wednesday. Peace.